Hi guys, it's Anna from our Bookish Obsession, and today I'm going to be doing the Common Book Girl tag. This tag was originally created by Ray of Sunshine Books, and yeah, it's looking like a lot of fun, and I know it came out a while ago, but I was like, why not? Let's do this. Alright, so here we go. Question number 1. What is your favorite fictional food or drink? My favorite, and like many other people's, is from Harry Potter. The descriptions of feast whenever there are holidays and the food that they get to try and the candy that they have just sounds like it would be awesome to experience, and then, you know, the drinks later on and such things. So I think trying Harry Potter food would be really awesome. So yeah. Question number 2. How long did it take you to finish your last book? The last book I read was Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, and I am ashamed to say that it took me a little under 4 months to read. 4 months to read a book that's under 300 pages. I don't know what happened. I have a bad habit of reading too many books at one time, and I guess this time I just kept putting aside Percy Jackson to pick up other things, and I think I was struggling with the Sea of Monsters a little bit. It wasn't really grabbing my interest, and I kept putting it down and putting it off and not wanting to read it. So I was really happy when I did, and I, of course, marathoned the end of it in like a couple hours one day. So, but yeah, so sadly that was the last book I read, and it took me that long. Question number 3. How many times a day do you find yourself staring or looking at your bookshelf? I'd say a couple of times a day. I mean, it's there. I look at the books. I just bought a bunch of new books, so I'll be doing a book haul. And so I look at it, and sometimes I was rearranging it the other day, and I occasionally look over to just be like, my book collection. It's beautiful. It's growing. It's becoming. Look at all the books I need to read. So yeah, I would say several times a day I'm looking at my bookshelf. Question number 4. How many Goodread friends and books do you have? Okay, so I have a total of, I think, 83 friends on Goodreads. I had less than that, but I somehow, like, made friends with all of my, like, Facebook people, so it upped a bit, and it might be more than 83, but when I looked, that's what it said. I have a total of 692 books on Goodreads, like, as a whole, with 299 of them being unread, or to be read, I should say. So I cut way down on my TBR Goodreads thing, because I realized that a lot of the books I had on there weren't really books I wanted to read. I was just, like, semi-interested, and I was like, okay, I want to boil this down to, like, what do I want to read? So it's under 300 now, so that's exciting. Question number 5. Do you ever quote books in public? I would say I occasionally quote books in public. I think I quote movies more often. It'll occasionally come out, but I would say not very often. I guess it depends on whom I'm around. If people understand the references, maybe I would. Question number 6. Do you ever reread books? I would say no. Okay, if we're talking reread from cover to cover, marathoning, such things, no. The only books that I have actually reread are the first 2 Harry Potter books. And that was because there is such a gap between when I started Harry Potter and where I am now that I had to reread them because I couldn't remember what had happened. I pick books up and, like, flip through them. You know, go to my favorite parts. I do that with all of my books, but I don't think I've ever, besides for those 2 Harry Potter books, like, picked it up and read it from cover to cover again. I would like to get more into that, but I find myself getting bored when I do that. Question number 7. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Yes, I guess I do. If I'm on Goodreads and I'm looking down the list of books that are coming out or such things, then the ones with the really interesting covers generally are the ones my eye gravitates toward to just check it out. But I wouldn't say that I pick up books that I'm not interested in just because of the cover, like, oh, this book is a really pretty cover, I guess I'll read it. If the story doesn't interest me, I won't, and then vice versa. If it has a cover I don't like, but I'm interested by the title or synopsis, so I'll read it. But I will say that my eye is drawn towards the books that really stick out to me on Goodreads, or even in the bookstore that I'm like taking pictures of or writing down the names to look up further about them, I would say yes, it does, but it doesn't completely influence my decision to either like purchase the book or read it. Question number 8, Instagram, Twitter, or Tumblr. I do not have an Instagram because my phone cannot do it. Once it can, I do plan on having it. I do have a Twitter. I have my own personal one, and then me and Camilla have our one for this channel. And I do have a Tumblr. I do have a Tumblr. Yes, mostly for my K-pop love and obsession. Tumblr. Oh, how I love you. You frustrate me. Question number 9. Which genres take you the longest to get through? No, the longest to read. I wrote down contemporary and science fiction for this. Contemporary can really take me a while to read. I get not bored with it, but I'm just like, okay. I'm way more of a fantasy person, and science fiction books and me just don't work out well. I will pick some up. I guess the alien concept, it's just not my cup of tea. It's just not my favorite genre, not something I hate. I'm trying to get more into it, but it's just, I generally find myself getting a couple hundred pages in, or even less than that, and being like, I'm not really enjoying the story, and I don't really want to read it, and I put it down. So, that mixture of two completely different things. Question number 10. Who are some of my favorite booktubers or /bloggers? I don't read a lot of book blogs. I've skimmed some of them, but there's none that I like completely follow. I have way too many booktubers to name all of them, but a couple of my favorites are the Book Hoarder. She's amazing. Reagan from Prue's Project. I go and watch her videos all the time. Jean from Bookish Thoughts, and A Book Utopia, and Christine, and Kat, and just, that whole crew of people. And some of my favorite booktubers. I also follow a lot of, like, smaller booktubers that I just love some of their videos. I love hearing people's different opinions and such things. So it's, I don't know, I follow probably easily over 100 booktubers on YouTube that I'm subscribed to, that I just go through and look at their channel and just love them to death. Question 11. How often do you pre-order books? I never pre-order to buy. Okay, well, not precisely true. I have with like 2 series ever like pre-ordered a book before I read it. But I generally don't buy books I haven't read. There's only a couple of exceptions to that. I do get on hold at the library for them, if that counts. So very, very, very rarely do I pre-order books. Question number 12 is, are you a shopaholic? I guess with books, I can be. It's not very common. I definitely just did like a spree of book shopping in the past month and a half because I was saving money for my trip to Korea, and I finally like had enough to buy the ticket, so I was like, alright, I'm gonna let myself buy some books that I've been waiting to buy for like 8 months. So I have spent quite a bit of money doing that, and I will be doing a book haul once one of the series gets in, the book depository. Why do you take so long with the shipping? Question 13. How many times have you reread your favorite book? I do not reread books very often. As I mentioned earlier, I will skim through them again and pick them up off my shelf randomly and go through them. So I do that many times. I've done that a lot of times. But I can't say that I've like picked up and read from cover to cover really any books except for the 2 Harry Potter books. Question 14. Do you own a lot of books? I would say I own a small, decent amount. It's a growing bookshelf. It's small. It's growing, though, which I'm super excited about. I love having books on my bookshelf. And I only generally buy books that I have read and really enjoyed, so I don't just randomly buy a bunch of books a lot of the time, which is part of why it's kind of smaller. Question 15. Do you ever take pictures of your books before reading them? No, I don't use Instagram with my books or anything like that, so I do not take pictures before reading them. No, doesn't happen. Question 16, do you read every day? I try to. Some days are more successful than others. Other times I am caught up in the internet, in the interwebs, and, oh, my dog. Alright, question 17. How do you choose a new book? Generally, I'm on Goodreads and I'm looking at my to-be-read shelf, and whatever just sticks out at me, I'll just be like, ooh, let's order that from the library, and then I end up ordering 15 to 20 books, and then I have no time to read all of those, and then they have to go back, and yeah, that's generally how I choose them. Or if Camilla's recommended something to me and I've been interested in reading it, but kind of I'm putting it off, if I find a book and I'm like, this sounds interesting and there's lots of positive things about it, I'll probably pick it up and read it. Question 18, do you always have a book with you? No, it depends. Depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing. Sometimes it's easy for me to read in the car, but if I'm like with my family on like a short trip thing, it doesn't generally work out for me to read. I try to carry a book with me more often, but I generally read at home when I do, so. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. This was a really fun tag to do. Me and Camilla are hopefully going to be posting some videos together. I am leaving for a trip in September, so I won't be able to post any videos during that, but I'm hoping to get a lot more uploaded this month. Camilla's posted a couple new videos. Go check them out. Subscribe if you want to. If you've done this tag, post yourself below or talk about, any of these questions with us. We'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye!